Hey folks, it's Maxwell here and welcome to another TW video. You join us just 10 days away from the Battle of Los Angeles, the AEW version. We will have a 2-night extravaganza with two tournaments, one for the men and one for the women. I'm thinking the way I'm going to go about it is, because you're kind of restricting yourself to just 32 athletes over those two shows and you don't want to add any more workload to them, we'll probably make that collision like some sort of special collision. I'll try and get the best of the best that aren't on the show. So maybe get some good matches, the tag team championships, the trios championships, see what I can fit in, because even though I've got a brand split, there's still a lot of people not making television, but I want the best of the best and try to get as big a company as possible and get all my favourite workers here. So I'm looking forward to this one. Very solid main event. Swerve Strickland against Sammi Zayn qualifier for BOLA. We'll set the tone for what we like to do in that tournament, and we'll drop the brackets on next week's episode. So that'll be the Wednesday, the 30th of July episode of Dynamite. I basically have it all written out, so ideally, if there is no injuries, then the tournament should be a banger. But anyway, chill, relax, let's do it. This is the week of Wednesday, 23rd of July in AEW television. So we start off the action with a wild brawl in the Mid-Atlantic, and we have Daniel Garcia picking up some momentum with a victory over Shane Taylor in 9 minutes and 42 by pinfall, just to give him some momentum here. 59 for Garcia, 47 for Shane Taylor, a 57 overall. Garcia's getting a little bit stale, so I'll take a note of that. And yeah, it's just obviously giving him some momentum before the feud he's about to enter. We then have a little segment backstage. We have Renee Paquette asking the words and the thoughts of Swerve Strickland. Swerve, tonight you battle Sammi Zayn in a qualifying match for the Battle of Los Angeles. What are your thoughts going into this match? Swerve Strickland says, "This is a joke, a travesty. I've been screwed over by management purely because I'm better than some other guy, and that other guy's a loser. He's done, he's finished. But just like every other time, I'll overcome these odds placed before me, and I will go into the Battle of Los Angeles, and I will win it." And why? Because whose house? Swerve's house. So obviously that's because of the issues with Keith Lee, but a 75 segment to open the show from a promo side of things, and what should be a pretty good main event. We had some good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd in our women's division as Becky Quinn defeated Sarai Anoa'i in 7:38 by submission. Horribly butchered that one, but two styles that pretty much clicked together. A 78 for Becky, a 69 for Sarai, and yeah, pretty happy with that one and the 70 rated segment. We then had a little segment backstage with the Death Riders, but all is not well. Pac walks into the shot and Moxley says, "Where the hell have you been? We have a match tonight." Pac says, "Me? Well, that's one match I certainly won't be a part of. Listen, I agree with the mission statement of the Death Riders, but this cannot continue. I should be winning matches, winning championships, hurting people, being a right proper bastard. But me, I'm the Death Riders fall guy. So gents, it was a pleasure. Good luck with your match tonight, and I'll see you down the line." Mox is incensed about what will happen now. So basically that was my thought, is Pac's always been the kind of fall guy. He's been taking the losses. So I do want to utilise him in a very high position. He's still going to be in a heel, which is why the split has been amicable, and he'll continue to do his old thing as a heel, which also means that Claudio, Moxley and Yuta have a 4-on-3 handicap match tonight. And that segment was a 65. We then had a bout that had some good wrestling, a little heat, as Zack Sabre Jr. defeated AR Fox in 9:09 by submission with the Crematation of Lily. This was our Steal the Show matchup. Some pretty good chemistry between them, which raised performances to a 67 and a 86. Being under 10 minutes though, this was capped to a 70 rated segment. But again, just giving Zack Sabre Jr. some momentum. Then had some words from our authority figures, both Jesse McKay and Scott D'Amore. Ladies and gentlemen, next week we will confirm the brackets for both the men's and women's Battle of Los Angeles tournaments. We hope that you're excited as we are for what will go down in 10 days' time. So simple, just confirming what I said earlier, 56. And we then had that 3-on-4 matchup, and it was the trio of Castagnoli, Yuta and Moxley against the tag team champions Aussie Open and the Lucha Brothers. And it was about to have some great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, as Aussie Open and the Lucha Bros defeated the Death Riders in a handicap match in 17:36 when Fletcher pinned Yuta with the Grimstone. Pretty solid stuff here, it's got to be said. The weakest performance was actually Utah with 72. It's probably one of those matches where we've actually got the best out of Moxley, which is good. And some solid stuff in there as well from Phoenix and Kyle Fletcher. 80 for the wrestling and a 77 for the segment overall. They had a little segment backstage with Darby Allin, and he says, so all in, it wasn't to be my day not winning the triple threat match, but you all know me well. I get back up and we go again. We challenge someone and we go for a fight. So the battle at Los Angeles is interesting. I'm going to propose a challenge that I hope is accepted and then approved by Scott D'Amore. Put me in as the 16th seed. Give me the hardest straw. Give me Okada in round 1. Okada walks by. And he says, haha, you really think you stand a chance against me, the world champion? And then just his usual silly little bitch. So 80 segment for that one. So I kind of took it in terms of the perception for the fans when I was seeding them. And I like the idea of like Darby having to fight the hardest guy all the way up. So we will probably see Darby versus Okada, and that's just the way that Darby can get in without a qualifier. As well as Okada, mentioning he doesn't want one. 80's promising though. Next up was about had some decent wrestling and a little heat as Ricochet and Ua defeated the Outrunners in 8:44 when Ricochet pinned Truth Magnum with a 6:30 splash. Storytelling matchup just to give Ua and Ricochet a dominant victory here in a 62 rated segment. And after it, post-match we see Ricochet and Ua under the instruction of Paul Heyman as they seek to beat down on the Outrunners. Ricochet goes to the top rope as he sits up for some sort of splash. But here comes FTR, and they make the save, and they chase off the heels. So a 62 segment here. Dax is getting stale, so let's take a wee note of that one, so I know who has to get the gimmicks changed. But yeah, hoping to build towards FTR versus Ricochet and Ua. We're then joined by Switchblade Jay White in the ring, and he says, well, I find it all a bit convenient that a certain Mr. Orange Cassidy is nowhere to be seen after costing me the AEW World Championship against him and Okada. It's okay, Orange, duck me if you want, but rest assured if you get entered in the Battle of Los Angeles tournament, then I'll be asking D'Amore for the same. Basically saying if he's in it, I'm in it. There'll be a lot of big names in this tournament, but it's up to them to show that they can breathe with the Switchblade. Simple, effective, 80 segment, and I believe that is our main event next. I think. And it is. We had a bout that had some great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Sammi Zayn defeats Swerve Strickland in 22:43 by pinfall with a brainbuster after a distraction from Keith Lee. It was the only way it was going to go after how it was set up. But 80 for the wrestling, 69 crowd, 82 segment overall. The storyline advances and gains heat. Sammy brings a 76, Swerve an 85, and that's him off his game as well. So delighted with that one. We should gain a monster amount of pop around the world. And it confirms that Sammi Zayn will be in the Bola. Swerve won't. And we finish up with 38 regions and gaining pops. That's probably everywhere by the US, which is fine. That's fine. And a lot more of the kind of darker green there. So really happy with that show. Positive stuff. And I'll see if there's anything before I go and do Rampage. Rocky Romero is being ribbed because he'd started being influenced by Paul Heyman. Makes sense. And that is it. So next up will be Collision, and then we'll jump over and recover what happened on Rampage, and of course Shockwave. So for Collision, we are in the Wintrust Arena in Chicago, Illinois, and we start with Chris Jericho and Cope in the ring. Cope says, ladies and gentlemen, allow us to introduce our partner, Christian Cage. So Christian comes down to the ring, and he's going to explain his actions, obviously joining and aligning himself back with Cope and Chris Jericho. I'll need to change his faction photo. Along with the promo, Christian says, so a lot of people are probably wondering why I did what I did. I mean, it's quite the change for Christian Cage. Well, I had some time to think about it. I've reigned as your AEW World Champion, I've reigned as AEW TNT Champion, and as a Trios Champion as well. Now, Chris, we go way back, so I was happy to help, but Cope, I know I've knocked you back before and told you to go F yourself, but I feel like the time's right. I can get the clean sweep here, and I can get that when the time is right. I can get those tag titles. I know you're thinking, oh, you backstabbing SOB, but look at your career. Look at the opportunities you took and think this is a young, hungry roster. All of them are keen to take those chances. I'm not saying we should be holding back younger guys, but getting to work with them and leave them in a better spot when we retire, and we can add to our legacies as well. Hope says, I've known you what? Well over 40 years, and I know what you're like. But you are right. We both have had to do what's right for us, and I do feel together is the right move. Chris, we're all friends here, so there's no reason why me, you, and Jay can't do this and win the trios championships with you. So they're kind of confused in where they want to go. Christian is kind of more towards the tag titles, but Cope is saying, get Jericho involved, make it the trios. However, the lights dim out. Comes forward the House of Black. Malachi Black says, from the ramp, this old man meeting has to end. Your end is near in sight, and let the members of the House of Black bring you to darkness and then send you to your ending light. So signalling the end of their careers. So that matchup actually will take place later on tonight. That was a 64 rated segment. The performance of Cope was good. Buddy Matthews did not come out of this looking good, which is a shame. Opening contest for the evening had some great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Orange Cassidy picks up the win over Roderick Strong in 13:49 with Beach Break. Made this steal the show, and they certainly did that one. 83 for the wrestling, 62 for the crowd, and a 76 for the segment as a whole. A 90 performance and a 76 is really good. Orange Cassidy is probably one of my best workers. Obviously heavily penalised for a lack of psychology, so I think we could have saw that into the 80s, but still good stuff. And Orange Cassidy kind of hints towards being in Bola, and he says 16 people in a 2-night tournament. Gosh, that sounds like a lot of work. Okay, fine, I'm in, and I'll beat Okada this time. So 88 for the segment, storyline advances and gains heat, and yeah, got Orange Cassidy hinting that he will be in the Battle of Los Angeles, and that puts a little less pressure on our main event. Into the women's division, and we had some decent wrestling but non-existent crowd heat as Willow Nightingale defeated Alex Windsor in 6:49 by pinfall. Storytelling matchup really just to give Willow some positive momentum, and Windsor was pretty okay here in a 61 rated segment. We then have a little segment backstage where Anthony Bowens walks up to the Hangman and says, Hangman, what the hell has happened to you? You're backing down from Wardlow? It's not like you at all. You've fought everyone who's got in your face and you've showed them true cowboy shit. Are you sure you're not the same person anymore? And then Hangman kind of gets like into Bones' face and says, what the hell are you trying to say? Get the hell out of my face and don't tell me what the hell I should be doing. They get ready to brawl, but the referees start to pull them apart. And then Hangman shouts at Bones and says, even if I'm in this Bola tournament, which is thought to be confirmed, next week, me versus you on Collision. So a 60 rated segment for the Hangman. Then we have some small words from Adam Cole, and he says, last week losing to Bryan Danielson was a travesty. Last week saw me not even qualify for the Battle of Los Angeles. It's frustrated me, it's pissed me off, and mark my words, I'm out for vengeance after this. So Bryan's final run storyline advances and gains heat. The segment was a 78. Adam Cole is now going to be a jealous gimmick, which was a success. Well, the idea was a success, and initial rating of very good for the gimmick change. Perfect, that worked out well. More action in the women's division, and about had some decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. The Monet Corporation, which is mixing No, Sky Blue and Bailey, defeated Mina Shirakawa, Mayu Yamashita and Yuka Sakazaki. 11:24 when Bailey pinned Mina with the Hugplex. So this one was a 67, pretty decent stuff there. You can see it's going to take a bit of time to get Sky Blue and Nixon all over, but the rest of these were fine. Mina pretty poor with the 56, but overall there's a lot of good stuff we can take from that. We hear no words from the Monet Corporation, but we just see the four of them pose in the middle of the ring and the crowd boo. I feel like if you get these segments together, you're going to get more popularity on Nixon and Sky. So 61. And then that trios match from earlier on was decent. The House of Blacks, Malachi Black, Brody King and Buddy Matthews have defeated Chris Jericho, Christian Cage and Cope in 12:28 when Buddy Matthews pinned Chris Jericho with a Murphy's Law. Jericho was a weak link here with a 49, being penalised still for being extremely poor for him, although a 73 overall is pretty good. Cope and Christian with some decent performances alongside Brody King and Malachi Black. So it's really, again, what we were putting into before, we're still going to doubt what Chris Jericho can do. Is he done, basically, is the question. Next up, 86 promo from Bryan Danielson, which is ideal, but it's just him announcing another tournament. With me being qualified for the Battle of Los Angeles, I'm proud to announce that on behalf of Scott D'Amore, I can confirm that starting as soon as the Battle of Los Angeles is finished, we will have the 2025 Owen Hart Foundation Cup tournaments, with both finals taking place at Forbidden Door 2025. The winners will win the cup, and then they will challenge for the TNT and TBS titles respectively. So the plan is finals at Forbidden Door, and then the winners will face, and that'll be all out. So entries will be made of competitors who haven't entered the Battle of Los Angeles, so that more wrestlers get a chance at tournament gold. And it says all the best to both fields of 8. Because obviously he's reigning champion, he won it last year. So we could see someone potentially challenging Samoa Joe for the TNT, and I believe Tony Storm's the TBS. Got that many titles, that many wrestlers. But yeah, should be some good matches. I've all booked out as well, so hopefully no injuries. We had a decent way of brawl as Kevin Steen defeated Tomohiro Ishii in 9:38 with the package pile driver. Obviously, just a nice wee match up as we end Ishii's run before he retires. He had a 59, Steen with a 79, and the overall segment was a 74. Some words in from Kevin. He says, so after the fantastic win at All In, and let's face it, it was the best win ever, beating Sammi Zayn and Darby Allin, I think it's about time management here does what it's told and puts Kevin Steen in the Battle of Los Angeles tournament. I know all about it, and hey, if this is where the best wrestle, line them up, I'll beat them, I don't care, I'll show that they all suck anyway. So Scott D'Amore do that, and get ready for Kevin Steen World Champion All Out. So obviously the winners of the Bolas will contend for the World Championships in the men's and the women's divisions All Out as well. So 71, Steen benefits from a hot catchphrase. And our main event was just to put on a banger of a matchup to make sure we gained pop. And it was about had some great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd as Konosuke Takeshita defeats Johnny Gargano in 1952 with a touchdown. These guys brought 82 wrestling, 63 from the crowd, and an 85 segment. Gargano with a 76, Takeshita with an 89. So overall, 85 best matchup, 88 best promo, surely. We're gaining pop in America. This is one of the shows I wish we'd Collision in more places, but I want to keep it that wee bit realistic for just now. Oh, we only got an 80, and I think we've been heavily penalised, more so for the lack of storylines being furthered, because it's not really dramatic stakes, they're just being furthered in angles. So that's maybe on me. I maybe need to start doing that a bit more often, because we should be getting higher than an 80 with that kind of show. But it is what it is. Any locker room incidents? None. So I'll go ahead and book Shockwave. We'll look over the two shows, Shockwave and Rampage, and we'll see if anything else happened in the world of TW. Now we'll cover everything else that's happened in the wrestling world and our 2B shows as well. So straight to show history. Rampage. Started off with Nigel McGuinness taking the victory over Tommy Billington in a 61 to get him some momentum and just give Tommy some more experience. Then had a 69 rated angle with Nigel, a 49 rated angle with Saraya. She then backed up her words and defeated Arisa Nakajima in a 41. Thunder Rosa then defeated Harley Cameron in a 35 rated matchup. We had some words from the Power of Positivity as Austin Creed and Kofi gave us a 69 promo. And then in the main event they defeated Alex Reynolds and John Silver in a 71 rated matchup. Shockwave was actually incredible, which I was shocked at, literally. Ricky Starks defeated Ortiz in their opener. It was a 64. Starks was good. Ortiz was a wee bit rusty because of lack of matches. We then had a character development segment for Starks. And believe it or not, we gave him the angle which was likely to succeed. That worked as well, and it gave us an 88. Bobby Lashley defeated Commander, which was a 67. We then had some words from Will Hobbs, or Powerhouse Hobbs, Bobby Lashley and MVP. That was a 74. Rush defeated Colt Cabana in a 72. We then had Samoa Joe work the crowd in an 87. Private Party then defeated MXM Collection, Top Flight and Workhorseman in a fatal 4-way. This was still a show matchup as well. 70, we lost a few points because of an injury to, I think it was Mace Madden broke his hand, or Mason Madden has broke his hand. Working the crowd didn't quite work with Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn because that was only a 46. And a fantastic main event. We gave him 16 minutes as Io Shirai defeated Azumi in a very, very good 83 rated main event. So solid stuff there. So news around the wrestling world. Fans of WWE have gone all in to family-friendly pro wrestling. Fair enough, that is probably the kind of style they're at just now. Anything else that directly affects us? Layla Hirsch has claimed the vacant Ring of Honor World Television Championship for the women. There's just confirmation of the Mason Madden injury. Nothing else there that too much directly affects us, which is good to see. We obviously had an Honor Club taping. So Konosuke Takeshita was doing some stuff with Progress. Collision gets 1 million viewers. Shockwave gets 2 million because it's on the network. It's a B show. And Dalton Castle, at least he's back from his other injury. So we could bring him up at one point if we can find something for him to do after his injury. Let's see, he's going to be sidelined with a separated shoulder. So a few weeks, it could be something to look at if we can fit him in somewhere. And it's going to be a month to heal for the broken hand of Mason Madden. But that's pretty much it. We have now 6 days to the Battle of Los Angeles. They say matches will take place on Saturday the 2nd and Sunday the 3rd of August. That means it will basically be a taping of Collision, Shockwave and the Battle of Los Angeles. If I need to book the Battle of Los Angeles first, that's fine, I'll record it, but I'll just do it as if the other shows were first. And we'll go from there. Of course, we're going to run down the participants in the first round matches on Dynamite. So in the next episode, you've got that to look forward to. But that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching. Likes would be deeply appreciated. Any comments? Let us know how your own saves are getting on, because we're quite far into the life cycle of this game now. And of course, for all your needs, Fantasy Booker subreddit, Grey Dog Software forums, and twdb.com and bethebooker.net. So apart from that, I'm done. I'll catch you for the next one. See you later. Bye bye.